It was good. It was good. Family. Family, right? I'm going to call this family because I just want to call it family. I've been wearing this hoodie for 3 days. And I love it. I absolutely love this hoodie. The hoodie is a Killer Instinct hoodie. Right? It's so good. It's such a good hoodie. I think I need to go back to where I got it and go get another one. So I titled this video Lowida. 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 And I made that word up, Lowida, a long time ago because I wanted to be happy no matter what, right? I wanted to be happy no matter what. So I made a word that described that. And every time I would say it, I would be happy no matter what. Loida, right? But if you look that word up, it's not in the dictionary, and it's not in any other type of database, dictionary, or whatever. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you literally can make your own words and put emotions behind them, and then that would be like a whole thing, you know. And I've done this um, to help friends out, people I don't even know, you know, with my own sort of vibration or word, and it's like it's changed lives just behind the meaning of that word, Loida, right? And the way you say it is important. Um, the word itself is important. Loida. And so when you say that word, it's supposed to be giving up control to what you're trying to control because the word symbolizes happiness because in order to be happy you must give up control, right? And this is something that I know to be, if I can do this, anyone could do it because I feel as though as being who I am, one of my weaknesses is giving up control, you know. And so I feel like at an early age I was able to give up control, but I was put in positions where I had to give up control forcefully, you know. So it sort of became a habit and it sort of became a thing where I was like able to give up the very thing I loved dearly, repeatedly, to the point where owning something or having something of great value really wasn't great value because I knew what it would be like to not have that great value in my life, right? Some people learn this through, you know, an animal passing away or being taken away or something of high value. You know, not just a valuable thing, something of high value, a friendship, a companionship, um, something that is superiorly significant to you, right? Um, it could even be it could even be someone you relate to or a way you relate. So, um, one of the things that I loved growing up was video games. Of course, a lot of guys like video games, but video games like me and a few other men, or maybe most men, maybe that's all we had was video games, and not just video games, but specific video games, specific ones, because people make those games, people work on those stuff. So if no one's making the specific type of games that are catering to my lifestyle and what I like, it's hard for me to even be in there. And so I'm even thankful for the people who made those games that were so interesting that spiked my curiosity, that allowed me to dive deeper in the game, that kept me interested over and over. Because if it wasn't for those type of things to keep my interest, I, I would have, my interest, my attention would have been in other places that might not have been very beneficial in my life, you know? So, so yeah. So Loida, I remember one time I was talking to this one person. She was Ethiopian, or she was Intrinian or Ethiopian, Intrinian or Ethiopian. I used to have a thing for Ethiopian women. I just loved Ethiopian women, And then it turned into a love for Ethiopian people in general, you know. So I started that's when I started like communicating with like, you know, that culture a lot, Ethiopian and Eritrean culture. That's kind of like around the time I started to create, when I created the word Loida. Loida, right? Loida. And this one person, we were real good friends. She would always say Loida to me, like greeting me, and that made me feel so good, because it was what I created, and it was about peace, love, and happiness. It was really about happiness, regardless. That's what the word meant. It meant happiness regardless of anything. It didn't matter what you was going through. It didn't matter what it was at all. In this moment right now, you are happy. And that is a healing vibration. And no matter what you're dealing with, that healing vibration will will boost you tremendously, to the point where whatever you're dealing with will almost seem like it's nothing. Okay? But this all depends on how strong you are in that vibration. And when you come across someone like me, the vibration will be very strong, unless you deny that vibration, right? Because when you deny something, you also deny all the knowledge you can get from it and all the experience that it has. So anyway, this person would always greet me with Loida, and it made me feel so great, because it helped me stay true to who I was, a person who is a creator of goodness, right? A creator of balance. And um, it was just a really healthy time for me when I created this word. And I remember fading away from this word, but not its principle and meaning. I wouldn't say it as much. I wouldn't dive into that meaning enough, because life had picked up new challenges for me to deal with, that was so dynamic, that it's not that I forgot it. It's just that the challenges were so dynamic that I had to find creative ways to get around it, where I just kind of lost that mentality, and it kind of developed into, I'll be happy because of this, or I'll be happy when I get this done, and blah blah blah. When my true way was, I'll go through all that being happy, you know. That was my way of doing things. I'll go through all this in a positive attitude, in a positive mood. Regardless of what I'm dealing with, I'm always going to be positive. I'm always going to be this. I'm always going to be this, right? It was a goal of mine, a dream of mine, to always remain in a positive frame, to always be, when I'm around people, to always carry a positive attitude, a positive state of mind, a positive frame. And the reason why I want to do this is because I don't want to leave nobody, and I don't want to leave nobody's presence and they're not benefited or better or happier or anything like that. I want my presence to be something where whenever someone connects with me and then they move on from that connection, whether it's just walking by me or saying hi, or we talk for 5 minutes, they should always be in a better position. That's my goal, to just always have someone being in a better position after even encountering me or being around me, because I believe in being happy no matter what, right? Being able to tackle all your problems and situations in a very positive state, conquering any problem you have, right? Because you being in that state alone makes the problems disappear, because the problems itself become just challenges and projects and things that are exciting to work on, because you already have the thing you obtain that you were looking to obtain, and that's happiness. Because we are happy creatures by default. We're happy creatures by default. Hey everybody in the chat, I see somebody join. How you doing? And we're happy creatures by default. As as a kid, when a kid is born, you know, most of the time we're born out the womb crying and stuff. But, they say the first thing a child ever learns is to smile, right? Children learn to smile first before anything, right? And so this is why it's important of who you are around kids, because kids pick up on your vibration, they pick up on they pick up on your personality, they pick up on your posture, they pick up on your energy, they pick up on how you treat other people, okay? And they pick up on your facial expressions the most, because they're trying to figure out how you are processing situations, because children automatically look up to you. So it is important to be the best example for them. And in my opinion, a great example for a child is to be in the most positive, strongest state you can, something that they can look up to, and that's very strong for them to go into, a strong, confident frame that's confident in who they are, confident enough to be positive about their situations and whatever that challenges come their way. So whenever a kid sees you interact with someone else, they know how to kind of do that themselves, going through school, life, etc. Right? So I'm gonna give an example. There was a young boy that there was an ex of mine. She had a kid, right? And I met when I first started dating her son was about 6 months. His father wasn't in the picture, none of that stuff, right? All this chaos, blah 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 blah. So I just slide into the picture, because we got acquainted, we started talking, we hit it off, everything's cool, and the child wasn't really like a social or interactive. It was more like withdrawn, reserved. Only would be with the mom, didn't want to be around no one else. But for some reason, he would listen to me. He would laugh at what I do, and I thought that was cool. And so I ended up bonding and having a connection with him. And so I remember one day he didn't believe in himself. And for something really small, it was like just jumping up. You know how like you got the stairs and you can walk down and you can walk up? I was like, just jump over the stairs, like to the next one, like jump past one stair and skip it into the next one. But for some reason, he didn't believe in himself to do it. And it was something frightening. When I knew in my mind it wasn't, because I've been did this. I mean, I'm an adult. And so I made sure I stayed there until he was confident in himself to do it. And when he did it, I seen a shift take place in his life, where he realized that point on that he was someone who was able to break his limitations. Just that itself allowed him to believe in himself, to break his limitations, because he thought he couldn't jump over a stair to the next stair. Right. And so it made me feel like the best dad ever, to be able to instill confidence into, when a dad instills confidence into his son or his daughters, it makes him feel like he is the best dad in the world. Because, to me, it's like that confidence that I instilled into this child is like, to me, it's like protects him throughout where he goes. And the funny thing is, when I was young, I wasn't really able to talk to adults that well when I was young, or like, it was just like I was really aloof or something like that. I was like all over the place. But This child, he's like 5 going on 6, but he's talking to adults like he's an adult, and it's funny because it's hilarious to me because I don't believe in like talking down to children. Not talking down to children, but like I don't believe in talking to children like how certain people would talk to children. Like how someone would say, "Hey," or they would like get into a certain way of talking to children, like having fun today and all this stuff, and just kind of talking a certain way to like I guess come down to the child's level. And I believe that we don't need to come down to no kids level. I believe kids are already at a really high level without knowing it. This is why I believe in talking to children like an adult, but not like, just talk to them like they're already an adult. They're already significant. They're already, have everything they need to learn and process things, right? So I'll talk to them with full respect. I'll talk to them like, they're able to perceive and understand what I'm saying. And if they don't, and I'll pick up on that and I'll make sure that they can, get that, understand that as well. And so, this goes back to the reason I made this video is Lowida, because I wanted to make sure that the children that I had around me knew that you could be happy throughout your life doing anything, and I truly believe that the kids that I got to raise throughout my life and to instill confidence in definitely benefited from that, you know. And to this day, any of the kids that I've helped remember me for that, know me for that, love me for that. They cherish that type of that type of how can I say, that type of way of living. And it's almost like it's not really, it's like a non-patent way of living, meaning like someone could just make an idea about this and just take it and do it, and I wouldn't care because it would be something that benefits the world, and I probably should do that myself. But I never forget, it made my day when I saw for the first time this child step up in his life, and ever since then he never needed me to do that again, because I believe that you shouldn't need nothing. You shouldn't need me for nothing. And that's another thing that comes with Lowida, happiness regardless. I want a person should be able to be happy no matter what. And so this is why I believe in giving people what they want, right? And the reason why is because once you get the thing you want, you would truly know if you want it or not, because you'll never know if you want something until you get it, right? And so this is why I like to give people what they want. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, it made me feel so good. It made me feel full of joy to see confidence, like take birth in this child. Like this child just like was so confident in themselves ever since then, that they didn't even need no more examples from me. The moment that they stepped out on faith for themselves, because of because of that strong confidence and direction from that confidence that I showed, ever since then this child took the reins himself, and never needed that anymore because he had it within him. And that's something that I take pride in, because it's like I don't believe in stringing people along. I don't like that, because I've been strung along growing up. And I'm not going to get deep into that, but I don't, that to me, that's like taking away someone's freedom, stringing them along for what they want. You know what I mean? So I just go ahead and lay it on the table right there in a very honest, forward manner. This is what it is. This is what I believe it is, and this is what you have to do to overcome it or do that. Anyway, now this child is smarter than ever. This child shocks me every other day about the things he knows. This child is into animals. They love all different types of species. They do their own research. They draw. They're really good at drawing. They know how to speak up for themselves. They this child is has very good handwriting skills. I didn't even teach them how to write. I remember their handwriting skills was bad, like in kindergarten or first grade. But this child is writing proficiently, you know, and I feel like, and I don't really get no credit for any of this stuff, because me and the parents separated due to the parent wanting things to go a certain way, and so I just had to accept it because the way things were going, I really didn't have no control over it. And I'm the type of person who grew into releasing control over my certain circumstances and situations because I truly felt like I never really had control over anything. And I don't believe we do, but I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't truly feel I don't have control over my circumstances. I may have a choice on how I deal and react to them, but at the end of the day, I don't truly have control over if the sun is going to rise or set or if it's going to rain or not, you know, because that's all connected to everything that we're doing anyway, you know. So, so yeah. So that's just a story about something about my life, what I dealt with and what I've gone through. Um, and why the word Lowida is very important to me. And I'm glad I'm making this video because I want to jump back into that vibration of which I created a long time ago and bring it into the future for others who may be able to um, study that or look into that and see how it could benefit them for themselves, right? A simple word with a simple meaning. Loida, and when you say it, everything vanishes from you. All negative energy goes away. There can be no negative energy in the vibration of that word when you say it. You say it with pure love, right? And that's it. You're happy no matter what's going on. And you have to, that word brings in that vibration, right? And if you have someone who lives in that vibration and you can bounce off of that, and after a while, once you bounce off of that, it's yours. You don't need me. You shouldn't need me. And that's my goal, to get you to not need something because you don't need it. You already have it. It is already in you. It is already yours. I'm just someone who's able to show you what you have already. Okay? That's it. And the reason why I'm able to show you what you have already is because I'm just someone who decided to, hey, I'm just going to travel down this road a little further because I believe in this road. Where others may not believe in this road, I'm going to travel down this road because I feel like there's something valuable here. And even though, maybe month after month and year after year, I might have not saw the value that I wanted to see. Over time, I realized just because I didn't see the value, that didn't mean the value wasn't there. I just had to, get more experience and wisdom, or just had to toughen it through certain times to really get down to why this is valuable, right? I had to go through so much to realize that, hey, you know what? You can't really just be happy through anything. You can really be happy about any circumstance, right? It seems to be crazy, but it's true because I'm a living example of this very thing. Now, logically, I'm not going to play with no one's intelligence. If you get hurt, like let's say you fell and you scraped your knee, that's going to hurt. That is, that's not necessarily something you would be happy about, but being in the vibration of happiness, right? It makes that very thing not hurt as much. It makes that very thing not as painful, not as a critical situation, you know? Throughout my life, I rode the bike a lot because I like to do deliveries, food deliveries. This is how I maintain myself. I had to do this because jobs wouldn't really accept me, or I was very lazy at getting a job. So this was very easy for me. And a few times I fell off that bike. And in the early years, I took some falls pretty bad. And, Lowida wasn't as strong then, meaning my happiness level was up there, but it wasn't as up there as I needed it to be until later in the years when I took more hits and I took more problems. Um, and I took on more challenges, right? And I had all these challenges and had all these problems, and I'm like, I just want to live like this person. I just want to live like this person where they have it all together and all secure, and they don't have to worry about what I'm worrying about. But I have to worry about this because this is how my life is going. And so I rarely had that lifestyle that I wanted. So I had to find my happiness within what I had already. And so I started to get happy about just things challenging me because I like challenges. So I found out that, hey, I like challenges because you can always find something you like in anything. As long as you pay attention to it enough, you can find something you like about something, right? Let's say there's a person that gets on your nerves, right? If you pay attention to that person enough and try to find something you like about this person, you eventually find something you like about this person because you you truly find what you look for, you know. What you seek, you will find. So you can find the good in all situations, right? This is why God is real, because God is presence. He is ever present. He is always present, right? And I believe God is the present moment. This is why God is connected to your past and he is connected to your future, because he is the very present moment of those things, and he is the present moment. He is the allness of everything that goes on. He is the source, the present moment. So when you're in the present moment, you feel good because you're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. You're in the now. You're where God is. You're where source is. You're where all things can be birthed. You're where all things are going to be anew or created or stable or grounded, right? In the present moment, you can alchemize. In the present moment, you have all things God gives you. The kingdom is present moment. See, it's a very spiritual thing when it comes to God. He already took care of everything for you. It's if you believe it or not, and if your faith is strong enough, you will see that, wow, he really truly has done everything for me. And that the kingdom is ours. It's here. It's for everybody. It's enough for everybody. It's already done for us. It's already taken care for us. It's the present moment. When you're talking to someone and you're in the present moment with them, it's a very good experience. It's a very learning, heartfelt, connective experience, even if it's not really necessarily a good experience. You could be battling mentalities with somebody, but you guys are in the present moment. And let's say you guys don't see eye to eye. You still learn something. You still gain something because you were in that present moment and you were gaining experience and you were gaining insight about why this person thought this way and you thought this way and why this didn't work and why this didn't work. And so what happens is something magical happens when you come back to this person that you had a disagreement with and you were in the present moment with. You sort of have some level of love and respect for this person because they stood their ground, right? They protected their present moment, right? What God gave them, right? And presented what they had to the world. It was a beautiful thing. And when you present this happiness to the world, which I'm talking about in this video, right? When you present this happiness to this world and in the vibration of happiness, no matter what you go through, right? When a person can pick up on you being happy with yourself, no matter what you go through, that is inspiring. I am inspired by that. This is something that I created. But anyway, it is a very profound thing to be able to, some would call this, or would make or perceive that to be, some would perceive that to be, some people may say that's kind of like, that's not, like, they wouldn't say that's real. Some people would think that's kind of like bogus. Some people would think that's fake. Some people would think that's just like superficial. There's all sorts of things, and I'm not here to take away no one's point of view on the situation, right? The only thing I offer is the chance to experience it, right? So you could say or feel any type of way about the situation, right? The only thing I offer you is the ability to experience it without you having to, the ability to experience it with a reference point, which is me, right? Or whatever work I put out there in the world for you to reference from, right? And then you take whatever hypothesis you get from that experiment of you trying it out for yourself, is whatever that is. And then I truly believe the best teacher, I truly believe that the teachers that are significant are the ones where their work shows great results through others. So I believe that I'm not a great teacher unless the people who learn from me are successful. If people learn from me and are successful, that lets me know that I'm a good teacher. Not if it's just successful for me. Because if it's just working for me, to me that's good and all, but that's not meaningful enough to me for my work to just work for me. If my information and work works for someone else, right, and it benefits them significantly, that lets me know, hey, yeah, I'm doing something right here. Like, what I'm doing means something. That's how I look at it, right? And I feel like that's how maybe we all should sort of look at it. That's just my opinion, though. I just feel like maybe that's a good way to look at it. As a teacher, if you're a teacher and your work shows great results through another person, that means, and to me, that means you're doing something phenomenal. Versus your work only works for you. You know. So when I say Lowida, right? When I say it in a certain vibration, Lowida, right? When I say it in a certain vibration, you pick that up. You pick up, this person is feeling good about themselves. They're feeling great. They're present, right? That word also brings in the present moment. Okay. Okay, they gotta. I'm here at the library, Martin Luther King Memorial Library, doing this video. I didn't know they had, so they're doing some type of video at 6:30, but I don't think I'm going to attend it because I'm just going to finish this one up. And yeah, so this is just basically about the word Lowida and what it means. And I just gave a little bit of examples of how I used it and how I went through life with it. Some of the friends I had, they believed in it, but they didn't really believe in it like that. And so, but there was a decent amount of friends that did. And most of the friends that believed in me were the ones that were at a distance, and I didn't really spend time with them as often, right? But I noticed that the ones that believed in my vibration and what I had to offer to the world, their relationships got better, their lives got better, a lot of, and the funny thing is, a lot of people who encounter me and like I get to know well, or I just have good conversations with, or just conversations in general, I realize that their relationships in life get better, right? Their skill sets get better, You know, the way they think and process information gets better just because of my vibration. You know, that's my gift to the world, to be able to pass on my confidence to another person, right? Because it's truly not my confidence, it's our confidence. It's not my confidence, it's our confidence. Because check this out. If you could jump into the position, or if you can jump into the confident frame that I am in, then that means it's your confidence, right? You might have seen what I did and was able to jump into it and whatever, but at the end of the day, that's still you and the confidence combined, right? It has nothing to do with me at this point. So when you jump into that masculine frame or whatever frame you have that's confident, that's you, your unique genetic makeup. So it don't matter whatever I show to the world, or it doesn't matter if my confidence is being shown to the world, right? And someone pick it up and they go about their life. That's their confidence, and they're going to have a unique way of pushing that on. Maybe someone's real confident in noticing the details at their job. They could work on cars, and they could be really confident in not making the same mistake twice. I was just talking about that not too long ago. There's this woman who never makes the same mistake twice. You know, if she ever makes a mistake, she'll never make the same mistake twice. And that's a phenomenal thing. That's a phenomenal person to have on your team, where if this person was to make a mistake, you could count and rely on this person to never make that mistake again. Can you imagine having someone on your team who would never make the same mistake twice, no matter what? That is a phenomenal person. And so anyway, this person is confident in their ability to never make the same mistake twice. So when they make a mistake, they know how to analyze it to a T, where they can cover their ground on that thing totally, where they would never fall back in the same trap of whatever they was doing or dealing with, right? They never make the same mistake twice. That might not be me, but my confidence is really just the image, right? And whatever backs up behind the image. So, for example, they say image is everything. Someone told me image is everything, and I like to challenge stuff. I don't believe that, but in a sense, it kind of can be, because if you perceive something to be something, it almost is. But I'm not going to dive too deep in that. So let's just say I'm confident in my ability to, let's just say, I'm gonna keep it real simple. I'm confident in my ability to walk with confidence. So I'm confident in my walk, right? I know how to walk in the room, right? I know how to walk in the meeting room. I know how to walk up to my boss and ask for a promotion. I know how to walk through a crowd and grab attention and respect, whatever the case may be. So let's just say someone see me do that, and they decided to pick up on that confidence, or they just automatically pick up on that confidence, right? And let's just say this person who picked up on my confidence is really good at connecting, is really good at networking, right? So now this person is much more confident in their ability now to make connections. So when they go out and they make their connections, they're not just doing it in a regular old, how can I say, they're not just doing it in the way that they know how to do it easily. They're bringing confidence into it, which is not only manifesting it in a certain way, but also changing and metamorphosizing the whole process. So they're going in there, and then they're having a much more confident frame in it. And what this does is it produces stronger results and unique results, to the point where it's almost as if the vibration that you picked up on me, right, that you found within yourself, came in a unique way. So I'm thinking about me being confident in how I walk, and you see that, and you start walking that way. But you pick up on that confidence, and you might start walking like me. But what ends up happening is you already have goals and dreams of your own. So what happens is you're going to take that confidence and you're going to funnel it in a certain way that's unique to you, and it's going to be a whole new confident look because of where you're going in life. So you might drive real confident, and I don't know how to drive confident. I may know how to walk real confident, right? But you know how to ride through the city with your car, and you know how to make it look good. You make other people want to ride through the city like you do because that's just your thing, that's just an example, but that all stemmed from when you seen me or anybody who was confident enough in themselves like that, right? Now that don't mean you need somebody to do that, because I believe that and I know this to be true, you will get this without example, through lessons. You get it through lessons where you have to be confident. You have to find it in yourself to be confident. But if you read books or you look at how people do things and learn from other people, like I know we learn from other people easily and very well. So this is why I like to be that confident frame for other people to just pick up on, because I've gone through having to be confident. I've gone through not being confident myself. And I would come to a point in my life where it's either I'm confident or I'm a lose, right? Because this was this is what was instilled on my life. This was the cards that God dealt in my life, right? This was the lesson that I had to go through because of the choices I made. And so since I made those choices, then that's how my life went. And that's just what that was. And those choices were the people that you hang around, the situations you want to deal with, and how you process those. And so, when you want to change your life for the better, you have to, in my opinion, learn, depending on where you're at, you have to learn how to do it. You have to do your research, or you have to experience more. But anyway, I go in tangents sometimes, so I can get a little off topic. But I just want to leave this video with this right here. Lowida, right, was created by me, and it meant happiness regardless, right? And the people in my life, they loved and respected this, and they took this word, and they used it for themselves. And it made them better people. And it also created happier situations within their life because they produce the feeling of being happy. I showed people that they can produce happiness in any situation, right? Because you can. See, just because I made this word don't mean it was already there or not. It was already there. Happiness is already there. But the word that I created was the label for you to connect to which God has already given you, happiness. God has given you happiness already. You don't need to look for it. You don't need to find it, because you are happiness. When God sees you, he's happy. He made you in the vibration of love. Everything about you is beautiful and glorious, and there's nothing less than that. Lowida is just my reference to maintain that of which God has given everybody, happiness. So yeah, and a lot of people who've encountered me, and I've been able to, some people don't like that vibration. I'm not for everybody. I would like to be able to relate to everybody, but I know that that's not 100% true. I'm not gonna be able to connect with everybody, and I understand that. But I know that I work hard on myself every day to be able to connect with multiple different cultures, so that way I'm able to bridge the gap of communication, so that way I can somehow relate to someone who has a hard time relating, right? So that way they can easily pick up on whatever I have to offer to the world, so that way they can take it and use it for themselves, right? I would rather leave a person with value than with none, right? And leave them with the best value they could ever have, which is freedom. I like to give people freedom, but really it's give people what they want. And that's how I give people freedom. You give people what they want. But some people don't do this. Or I wouldn't say some people. I'm gonna go ahead and say it like this. The world will say, you if you want to get what you want, you have to work, or you have to do this, or you have to do that, right? And that very well may be true, and that's cool. But there's you truly won't know you want something until you have it, right? And so if I can give somebody something that they want off the top, or just give it to them right there, that would free them, because they would like, well, you know what? Yeah, I was working for 2, 3 years to get this house, and you just bought me this house. And I'm able to live in it, and I love this house. But you know what? I realized 6 months in this house, it's just a luxury. I don't really like truly desire it like I thought I did. I just kind of like hanging out in all these different places in the house, and just, you know, throwing parties. But really, I'm okay with a nice with a nice wooden log, or like, a cabin in the woods. I love that. I'm okay with just a cabin in the woods that's got a nice fireplace, and I can just have family there and we can connect. But you would have never known this, because you were chasing a mansion, and you realized you didn't even want that mansion. You just liked the look of it and the luxury of it. And really, all you wanted was a nice cozy place where family can come and connect really deeply. you know and so, yeah, Lowida is how you can do this. Being happy through your situations is how you can get what you want, because really truly what we want is happiness. So once you get into that vibration, everything around you seems second class, because you already have what you desire. At this point, it's how do you want your life to be, right? If you are able to tap into that vibration of which I'm talking about right here, which is Loida, happiness regardless, right? And you don't have to smile to be happy either. You can just be feeling really good. You don't have to smile. Smiling and being happy are two separate things, because someone could be smiling and in pain. Someone could be smiling and just nervous. They could be laughing and nervous. But being happy is just fulfillment. You know what? I've gone through these things. I keep having setbacks, but you know what? You know why I'm happy about my setbacks? Because those setbacks are the very thing that's going to allow me to appreciate what's coming in my life. Those very setbacks are going to be the reason why I appreciate and value this relationship. Those setbacks are going to be the very reason why I'm able to step up for my family. And that's it. So this is my video on Lowida, all right? And I appreciate whoever watches this video. Comment your comments down below. Just send me some love. I would appreciate it. I really would appreciate it. I'm feeling really good about myself, much more confident in just going about this. I know I haven't been on here in quite some time because I switched up how I did things, but I'm just going to do talks on here. And yeah, so much love. Brandon started here, and I'll check you guys later. Much love.